Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a
liftoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Orbital Takes. Today is Wednesday, October 5th. Today's episode is brought to you by Space Flight Hub and Space with Spo, the only space accounts that you need to be following on the internet. We got a packed episode here for you today. We're going to talk a little bit about the Crew-5 launch, the new photos from the JUNO probe of Europa, which is fucking wild. And then we're going to go into launch and scrub of the week and our new segment, OT, OG. Pat, how we doing today? Happy Space-tober. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Space-tober. We're here. It's where did September go?
Dude, I can't believe that.
Yeah. So for those who follow, Space-tober it's called the Space-tober Challenge, and some guy started it, and it's like every day during the month of October you post a different piece of art or video or photo or whatever you have, and he's got all the subjects lined up for you. So like, you know, the today's was, you know, prototype or testing or, you know, what have you. So I think the first day was moon, and then launch, and then JWST. So like each day, and it's just a cool way to stay engaged and see what some other folks are doing in the world of space.
Yeah, and it's also World Space Week too. I don't know if that like had anything to do with it, but World Space Week never gets enough love. It really doesn't.
Maybe that's why he started it in October, because World Space Week is in October.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. You know what sucks? That this month started on a Saturday. I feel like that should be illegal. I had all these goals for the start of the month from like to, you know, the start on the 1st, and it's a fucking Saturday when the Hawks are playing, bro. Come on, you know what I mean? So all my goals this month are pushed off until Wednesday, hump day. You know what I mean? We're gonna get everything done tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna hop in Space-tober today if you're listening. So be on the lookout there. That should be good. But all right, so you want to lead off with Crew-5 or what? Let's talk about it. So
let's do it.
The 5th commercial crew program crewed launch. It's going to be a midday launch today. If you're listening right now, they probably already went up, hopefully on a safe flight there. A little midday Falcon 9 launch. Always great whenever you see a midday Falcon 9 launch, and on hump day. And this is I feel like the commercial crew program is starting to remind me of like a movie series that just went on too long. I mean, it doesn't get like as much love as they deserve, right? Like what movies had like 2, 3, and 4 that not that many people that watch? You know what I mean? Like everybody watched Bob and Doug. How many viewers do you think the Crew-5 launch is going to get in the middle of a day on a Wednesday? You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably not very many. You know, I'll be tuning in. You know, other space nerds are tuning in. I'm sure, but yeah. Like we said with the Blue Origin launches, it's just kind of become routine. Yeah. And that's a good thing. It's also like, you know, we've become so jaded and so used to it. You know, if a Falcon 9 booster doesn't land, it makes news. And,
it's bigger news,
just like 5 years ago, like, or maybe a little bit longer than that now, but that would have been like, holy shit, that booster landed. Oh my God, that's crazy. And now it's like, whoa, it didn't land. What the hell's wrong with it?
Yeah, it is frustrating that, you know, the entire world isn't excited about this launch, right? Like we're sending 4 humans off the planet today and nobody gives a shit, right? I mean, the cool thing about this mission is it actually has the first Native American woman that we're ever going to send to orbit. I thought that's a perfect time to happen. Like eat shit, Christopher Columbus. You know what I mean? Like they're in space now, right? So I thought that was really cool. Another thing,
you know what's kind of weird about Crew-5 is there's a cosmonaut on there.
The first one, I saw that.
Yeah.
Riding a SpaceX Dragon, right?
Riding the broomstick.
Yeah. How about that, Dimitri?
Yeah. What's up, Dimitri? Talking shit on SpaceX. And
I mean,
he's not the administrator for Roscosmos anymore, but you know, he still has to be like, oh no, now I feel kind of dumb.
He's got to be watching that. You know, I mean, what else is on TV in Russia tomorrow? Yeah. Wait, so Pat, where you at, Starliner? Like, what the fuck? Where are you at? When are we going to see Starliner in the commercial crew program, man?
Yeah, I think they said their crewed test is going to be in December or January, depending. And it's because there's so much shit going on the ISS that there's not enough, like, I think there's literally not enough ports, and they have it, you know, scheduled out so far in advance. And like, hey, the earliest we can fit you in is then. So it's coming down the pike.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why, even though it's not as hyped as it should be, this gives us a continuous presence on the International Space Station, which we desperately
Mhm.
need, right? Like we've had
Mhm.
humans in space since 2001, I believe. There has been
Yep.
at least one human in orbit, and the Commercial Crew program just really establishes that there's going to be an American up there for the rest of time, pretty much. As long as when we decommission the space station, we have like, I don't know, we almost have to have another space station up there before that one comes down, or else that
Mhm.
record is going to be in jeopardy, man.
No, we will. Orbital Reef will be up there, or the Axiom.
Uh-huh.
Will if it all goes to plan, Axiom will have some modules attached to the
Mhm.
ISS before the end of the decade,
Mhm.
and then those will just detach and become their own space station. So I
Yeah.
think barring something completely unforeseen, then yeah, we will have another space station up there.
It is pretty cool from when Bob and Doug, they had that wild launch on that summer day in 2020. We're 2 years later and we're already at Crew-5, and I know they
Yeah.
have everything up to Crew-7 planned right now into 2023. I could see them just extending this. We have a Crew
Oh
20.
no. Oh no, dude. They have it all. I think they're going to get up to like Crew 15.
Crew 15.
They
It's going to go to Crew
yeah.
100, man. We might be on
They,
Crew 100.
Well, by the time the ISS is decommissioned, I think it's only at Crew 15.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they've already
true, true.
awarded SpaceX additional seats on,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, additional flights to get up there
Mhm.
through 2030, when the ISS is planning to be deorbited.
Mhm.
And Boeing, it's they're doing it, and we need redundancy, so it's a good thing, but
Mhm.
they're almost like too late, because NASA is like, hey, like we got to get this stuff ordered, we have to get this stuff in going. It's the end of the decade is really not that far away,
Totally agree.
in the space time anyway. So that sounded weird, but you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean there. I
Yeah.
want to keep the Crew Dragon going as long as possible. That's the
Yeah,
coolest thing.
and like Boeing will still be able to go to Orbital Reef. I mean, shoot,
Yeah.
Boeing is a partner in Orbital Reef, so it's not like Starliner will be defunct or anything. But it was developed for the Commercial Crew program, and the Commercial Crew program is almost kind of passing it by.
I could also see some of the astronauts that have already rode on the Dragon, like guys like somebody like Victor Cruz. Like he might, I feel like, be on a
Victor
later crew
Glover,
mission.
Victor Cruz.
Oh, come on, man. Victor
I don't think
Glover.
Victor Cruz, the wide receiver for the Giants, is going to be going into space.
The
But
cha-cha man. The
maybe I'm
cha-cha
wrong.
Man. He was big in New York, man.
Oh yeah, with the salsa.
That goes to show you, like, the only people that I really
TV.
care about on this planet is my family, football players, and astronauts. So like it was going to be somebody named Victor.
What order?
Oh, dude, it's got to be astronauts, family. No, I'm kidding. No,
Astronauts,
all right,
astronauts, family, football players.
It goes family, astronauts, football players, but I would put them very close to each other. And then astrophysicists are in there too, and for just physicists. But but shit, yeah. All right, so let's talk about JUNO and the new Europa pick. So one of the cool things about having a buddy that is interested in space that also has a space account online, you break news to me all the time, and it's awesome. So I was going about my day. I forget what day it was last week, and I opened up my phone and I see Space Flight Hub, the main place I get my space info, right on there. And I saw the video you posted about the new pictures that the JUNO probe came back with of Europa, one of Jupiter's icy moons. I was like, my breath was like taken away. And I'm not even just kidding. Like it took over my entire day. Like, because we haven't had a photo like that since 2000. I never realized that we haven't seen a photo of Europa since 2000. I was like, holy shit. I couldn't stop looking at it. Pat, we talk about this moon all the time. This is the place where there's life in our solar system, probably for sure. And we were just looking at it. What were your thoughts on that shit?
So yeah, like you, my jaw hit the floor the other day when we saw those, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Space photos, we get so many of them in such great quality. It really takes a lot for me to be totally amazed by a space photo. I appreciate all of them, but like you said, we haven't had a good close-up photo of Europa in over 20 years, and for someplace that we think could potentially harbor life, it was really cool to see that. And the Jupiter Icy Moon Explorer, JUICE, is going to be launching here pretty soon. And then of course Europa, JUICE is an ESA mission, and then Europa Clipper, which was written into law, that is going to be launching on a Falcon Heavy or potentially Starship later this decade, for early 2030s arrival. So it sucks that neither one is going to be able to detect direct signs of life, and then unless there's like some kind of crazy biosignature that we just can't see from Earth. But
Yeah.
man, it was it was really cool. And like you, I'm just fascinated by Europa.
It's probably my favorite moon in the solar system. I think it is my favorite moon in the solar system. You know, a lot of people on this planet love our moon, but it seems like they have no idea about all these other icy moons out there that make our moon look like shit. I mean, Europa is a little bit smaller than our moon, but it's probably got, you know, a deeper ocean than the one that we have here, right? So it's like
100%. I think they said it's like 30 times the amount of water, something crazy like that, where there's like an infographic where it's like, this is the water that's contained on all the oceans of Earth.
Yeah.
And then this is the water that's contained in all the oceans of Europa. And it's like, yeah, it's like 30 times as much, or I could have that number wrong, but yeah, it's something crazy.
Clipper is going to be sick. I mean, think about even the poster. So NASA like drops these posters for their missions. Even the poster is sick. That's how you know the actual mission is going to be fire. And
you know what? I'm sorry.
No, yeah. What were you going to say?
I was going to say it sucks that Congress nixed the Europa lander that was supposed to be part of the Europa Clipper mission. So they had a lander that was going to go down and sample stuff.
Really?
And because of budgets, they ended up canceling that part of it. So kind of like Cassini, you know, early in the early 2000s, it had the orbiter, and then it had the Huygens probe that went down into Titan, and sampled the Titan atmosphere and landed on Titan. We got some crazy pictures and whatnot. It was going to have something similar to Europa, but yeah, unfortunately, budget cuts.
You know, I really wish that for some reason Elon Musk just had, instead of the hard on that he has for Mars, I wish he had it for Europa. I think that would be way cooler than setting up something on Mars. Short term, I feel like long term, I'd rather wait a couple extra years and get to Europa and start digging on that ice, right?
I'm gonna respectfully disagree with you. I think we need to see if there's life on Mars first, and if there is, then there's like almost certainly life on Europa, in my opinion.
All right, launch and scrub of the week. I'm actually going to go with my launch first because that's kind of like what we just spoke about. I am going to launch Jupiter's moons. So Jupiter comes with 72 confirmed moons. I think it has more now. I think it almost has 80 now. Then
they keep finding them somehow.
Yeah. And,
like, where the hell are these moons hiding?
Isn't that crazy? And a lot of people, like, think about it this way, guys. Like, whenever, you know, we're making videos for you guys and we're telling you, hey, Jupiter's the closest it's been for, you know, 100 years. Those moons are coming with it. All right. Like, they're orbiting Jupiter. So they're just as close as, or if not closer than Jupiter. So just think of it that way. And yeah, I don't know. I know that, you know, a lot of people on our planet love taking photos of our moon. They love seeing it. They're always dumbfounded by seeing, like, you know, just a full moon, but there's more moons out there, guys. All right. So I want to launch this. They're hot in the news. In the headlines this week, they said the chances of life on Enceladus have just gotten higher thanks to the new understanding of chemistry in the moon's ocean. Apparently they might have found phosphorus in there. Right. So, I mean, let's launch these moons. Let's start getting more missions to these moons. I don't think it's enough that we're just going to a few of them. I mean, I want to go to literally all 80, you know what I mean? And they need guys like us for that. So let's launch that. What do you got?
My launch of the week is the Polaris program potentially going to boost Hubble. So we, as we've talked about before, Hubble, you know, one of the most iconic and arguably the most important scientific instrument ever made because it has revolutionized our understanding of the universe. It was serviced, you know, 4 different times to extend its life and to fix issues and whatnot. It's cruising on orbit, you know, 315 miles or kilometers up there. But, you know, even up there that high, there's still a little bit of atmospheric drag that has been pulling it down closer and closer to being dragged back into the atmosphere. So, you know, we just assumed like, hey, you know, it'll die a fiery death one day. And, you know, thank you for your service, Hubble. But so here comes Jared Isaacman, the space nerd extraordinaire, billionaire who has purchased several flights to be the SpaceX Polaris program, their own Gemini program, which we've talked about on this program before, and using one of those Polaris missions as a demonstration to take rendezvous with Hubble and boost it to extend its life. So right now it's predicted to come back to re-enter into Earth in the early 2030s, and this could extend it by up to a decade or more. So imagine having Hubble and JWST observing the same objects at the same time, which was the original plan. JWST was supposed to be ready, you know, early 2000s. And so by extending Hubble's life, we're able to maybe do that. We've already seen some of that capability already. We had both the JWST and Hubble look at DART at the Didymos, and during that impact. So yeah, I think it's just it's a practical application for some of these commercial space things that maybe we didn't think about it at first.
Yeah, it's crazy that money and connections literally got Jared Isaacman to go up into space and like fix Hubble. Right?
Yeah, and it's a stark juxtaposition to the billionaire space race of going up there, floating around for a few minutes and coming back down and saying that you accomplished something. Not to say that there's anything wrong with doing that, but like here's Jared Isaacman like, hey, no, I'm gonna actually perform a real service to humanity and extend this. And let's be clear, this is just they announced a feasibility study, so they're looking into it, but there's no reason to think that this won't be feasible. And if it is, then it should be a pretty cool Polaris Dawn mission.
You know what, Pat? J Money is just different. He's always been different. I mean, think about it. He raised $500 million for St. Jude's, right? He didn't just go to space last time. Hey, and who said it on the Super Cluster podcast? Who said that ain't Jared Isaacman's last time in space? I saw it. I saw it in his own eyes. I was there when he was riding in those Teslas to the launch pad. You look in his eyes, that guy's a spaceman forever. He's going to go up there until he's dead. He's going to be like what's Wally Funk one day. You know,
Wally Funk,
He's going to be going until he literally can. I swear to God. He's
and we've talked about too, like we needed another, quote unquote character in all this. We have Elon, we have Jeff, we need somebody like Jared to be like, hey, I don't own my own space company, but I see a bunch of really good applications to do this stuff, and I'm going to help spurn some development.
Netflix, if you're listening right now, you guys need to be following this man with a video camera for the next 10 years. They need to have the same way that they followed for the Inspiration 4 mission, which was an incredible documentary. They need to do that for the Polaris missions immediately. Like they need to get on the training now. They're all training every day. If you follow them on Instagram, like they're going up in fighter jets and fighting these G's like daily. I'm kind of jealous. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. This is it's J Money is quickly climbing the ranks of my own personal like space heroes.
Me too. He's up there. All right.
Yeah. So what's your scrub of the week?
All right. My scrub of the week is going to be hurricanes. So fuck hurricanes, fuck the weather on planet Earth. I feel like they're getting stronger, faster, and more devastating, as years are going on. Obviously, we need to record more data. It's only been, a few hundred years that we've even been studying these fucking things. But yeah, man, I don't know. I wrote down here that as of today, an estimated 600,000 homes in Florida and businesses are still without power. So look, like, even though, the storms all passing through, it's not over yet. I know Mexico still might get hit pretty bad. And yeah, man, hurricanes suck. If it's us versus Mother Nature, we're losing every time. It's that simple. So we can't keep our eggs in one basket, and sign up for space exploration. All right. So that's my scrub of the week.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Fuck hurricanes. I would also say the technology that space brings, Maxar has been documenting the damage done by Hurricane Ian and in other natural disasters, and that capability is only going to continue to increase. So we're able to really see the devastation, not necessarily minute by minute, but day by day. So yeah, definitely our thoughts are with those affected in Florida and in the Keys and in the rest of the Caribbean there.
Yeah. All right, Pat. So what do you got for your scrub of the week?
So my scrub of the week, India's Mars orbiter mission, India's MOM mission. That's what they call it, MOM. So thank you for your service, Mom. They back in April, they lost communications with it. And now they have determined that it is out of fuel. So it will eventually die a fiery death, crashing into the Martian atmosphere and onto the surface of the planet. But it gave us amazing global views of Mars because of its highly elliptical orbit. It was able to almost every day get a full global mosaic of Mars. Really our first time with high def cameras that we were able to do that. And now we have, several other means of doing so with, Mars Hope with the UAE and a Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter and things like that. But, that was India's kind of first foray into a planetary mission like that, and they killed it. So, like many other things that lasted well beyond its designed lifespan. So shout out to the ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, for putting together just a great mission. And thanks for your service, Mom. Ad Astra.
That
I
was
guess add Aries, because
Yeah.
it's Mars. Add Aries.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was incredible. And we got Dart, we got Mom, we got Sophia. I mean, some of these space mission names are awesome. We need to
Some of
go.
them are. Some of
need-
them suck.
We need to go down and rate, like, or we need to dedicate an entire episode to like the top 10 space
Yeah.
mission names and
Yeah,
just go
I would
from
put
there.
Mom up there.
Mom's up there for
Mars
sure.
orbiter mission. What
Yeah.
more? How much more clear can you be?
Yeah, that's great. Explain the segment, Pat. What are we gonna do
Yeah.
with this segment?
OTOG. So we're going to look at significant figures in spaceflight or space research, or any person who has contributed above and beyond in that realm. So there's no real solid definition for this, I would say, but somebody of significance where you just say their name and you're like, oh, I've heard that name. I think we talked about Francis Drake.
Yep,
kind of
yep.
being one of those people, but we didn't have this segment yet. So
Mhm.
our first OTOG is going to go to Charlie Duke. Charlie Duke was lunar module pilot on Apollo 16. That is actually my background here, was the Apollo 16. I believe he is lurking at the lunar rover right there, if you can see that. Anyway, so today is his birthday, so happy birthday, Charlie.
Happy birthday.
So Charlie, he's one of the moonwalkers, the few that are still living. He was, like I said, lunar module pilot on Apollo 16. So John Young, legendary John Young, one of my favorite all-time astronauts as well, was the commander of that mission. And they did this lunar Grand Prix thing where they tested the lunar rover to its limits. When Neil Armstrong was landing on the moon, he requested Charlie Duke to be his Capcom, because he said, and this is coming from Neil Armstrong, smart motherfucker. He requested Charlie Duke to be on Capcom because of Charlie's incredible expertise and intimate knowledge of the lunar module. Any astronaut who flew the lunar module was clearly an expert in all of that realm, but Charlie was known by the Apollo astronauts to be even a step above that. So he was a true expert in the LEM and its design and all its issues and everything. So Neil Armstrong's like, hey, I want you on Capcom during the landing. So he's calling out 60 seconds, 30 seconds, 12:02, your go for that alarm. And then he's the one who said, what do you say? Roger, tranquility. Yeah, you got a bunch of guys about to turn blue and we're breathing again. Thanks a lot. Like, that's his voice.
That's sick.
So yeah, he's one of the OGs. Yeah, so happy birthday.
Total OG at 86 years old.
Yeah,
that is.
And I think when he landed on the moon, he was 34.
Yep, he was the youngest to do so at age 36, actually.
36.
So,
okay.
Yeah,
okay. So
youngest to ever do so.
Yeah. So so I am 33 right now. I can't imagine 3 years from now being smart enough and accomplished enough to land on the moon.
That's
I
insane.
don't see how he was mature enough to do that. I don't see how. Well, he was just a super intelligent, talented guy. So
yeah, he was. It says he was the 10th of just 12 astronauts to ever set foot up there, which is so crazy. And he's still alive now. Shout out him. Have you been to his website? His website is so sick.
I have not been to his charlieduke.com or something.
Literally, I think it's like charlieduke.com, and it is the most interactive website that I've ever been on, like, for an astronaut.
I'm gonna have to check that out, man.
It is crazy, and I just want to say special shout out to him, man. He took his brand to the next level in this day and age. He probably was talking to somebody like, "Wait, what's this internet thing? Get my website popping."
Yeah,
because that website is sick. I mean, it has like old photos that you can go through. It tells this whole story. I mean, this guy, was in the Navy Academy in the 40s. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like 47 or some shit. But last time he was up there was 1972. I'm sure that maybe he'll go to suborbital space. You never know. You know what I mean?
Hey, yeah, you never know. I mean, shoot, we saw William Shatner do it at age 90.
Yeah.
So this OTOG segment, we're not going to do it every week necessarily, but if there's a significant milestone or anniversary or birthday or something like that, we want to start getting some of these names out there to you guys. So
yeah, anytime that you have lunar module pilot on your resume, you're drinking for free at my bar, you're eating for free at my restaurant. Like,
shots on me.
You're
Yep.
good if you could take shots. That's if you,
Yeah.
you drink. We don't know what we don't know what his life was like. Post. Actually, well, what happened? Where's he at now? I think he's just like working for a church.
Yeah, he does the speaking segment. Actually, the
Yeah.
Cosmosphere in Hunterston, Kansas. It's a world-renowned
Yeah.
space museum, and I would highly recommend anybody who
Yeah.
happens to be in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Kansas, to
Yeah.
go there. But they have like the actual Apollo 13 capsule there. They have all this incredible space memorabilia. They are having an Apollo 17 50th anniversary gala, and he's going to
that's
be there
sick.
for that.
Wow.
Tickets are incredibly expensive, and they say please no autographs or selfies with the astronauts. And I'm like, well, then what's the point in going?
No, yeah. Damn, that kind of sucks.
I know, yeah, because I was like, I was going to do this for Jim Lovell a few years ago. It was the 50th anniversary of Apollo 8. And then I tore my knee up and I couldn't go because I just had surgery. And I've been like, oh man, next time they have one of those, I'm definitely going. And then I saw it's like $700 a pop to go to this dinner.
Yeah, but
and
then
you can't even
again,
take selfies or request autographs. So I'm
well,
like,
but
yeah,
then
maybe
again,
not.
if I was that old, I mean, think about it. He's been very famous for a very long time, and then you get like hundreds of people coming up and taking selfies with you every day now in this generation.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
When I ran into Meek Mill on one of my runs one day in Manhattan, I like asked one of his bodyguards to take a photo, and he was like, "What the fuck do I look like, a cameraman?" So like
That's great.
these famous people don't necessarily love taking photos with everybody unless like you're.
I didn't know
I
you
think.
did. You actually get a picture with Meek Mill?
Yeah, I did. I'll
Is
post it
it
right
a
here
good
for
photo?
anybody watching. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was funny. I mean, I was on a run and I was kind of out of it, but like, dude, I'm a massive Meek Mill fan. That was like one of the coolest moments of my life. You know what I mean? I used to think I was like in his gang back in 2016.
The Dreams and Nightmares, that song.
Oh, dude, one of the best songs of all time.
Yeah.
I had
I had an experience like that with Peyton Manning. I was at a gala with him, and this was back before the front camera on your phone.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Hey, Peyton, can I get a photo?" He's like, "Yeah, man." And I stand next to him, and I'm like, "Will somebody take a photo? Will somebody take a photo?" And nobody would do it. And he's like, "All right, man, come on, let's go." And I'm like, "Please, somebody!" And so finally, this guy took an okay photo. And then I returned the favor, and all was well.
Oh, I thought where you were going with that. I thought you were gonna say like you turned it around and you missed or some shit. Like that's where I thought that was going. But all right.
I'm not a very good storyteller.
No, shut up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it with another episode of Orbital Takes number 22. Thank you for tuning in with us as always. I know, Pep, there's dropping another JWST image today, so be on the lookout for that. And where can they find us online?
Looking forward to that JWST photo for sure. You can follow us online on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok at Orbital Takes. We'd appreciate if you would leave us 5 stars or a review on whatever podcast platform you listen to us to. And Ad Astra, everybody.
Well, there you have it. We'll see you next week, guys. Have a great weekend. Go Crew-5 and Ad Astra, baby. Peace.